Well, hello, good evening, and welcome. I've got two waiting. I don't know who's in. Don't know who's in. I'm a bit early yet. Might be no one. There's nobody here but us chickens. Trying to think of the comedy series that we're on now. Sitcom. Nightingales. Used to be a group of night security men. And Robert Lindsay were one of them. Well, what should we talk about this week? I've not a clue. I've got a I've got a cheap Hornby train set off eBay. I'm going to restore it. It looks like it's flood damaged, so that'll be a video coming up. I don't. One thing I can say is I can't work out YouTube. One day you'll post a video, you'll get 1,000 views in a week. Another day you'll post one, it'll do 100. And you post one that you think you should have done better than the previous one because the previous one had zero effort and you made an effort on the second one. I don't know. It's just one weird and freaky place. G'day, Valleys. Good to have you in, buddy. Good to chat before as well. Yeah, good little stream, that hot dog pilot. Bit interesting seeing his stuff on flying, model stuff. Used to have a club that met in front of my house years ago. Good watching them. Yeah, he does. He has an interesting lot of trains. Nice lot of stuff. I'm getting there gradually with some of mine. I never buy new. I just look at state of me, half me dinner on me. Yeah, I just restore old battered stuff and detail it and mess about with it. Yeah, it looks okay. I may put tail lights on it and put DCC in it, like I've done. Did you see the other one I've done as well? A couple of years ago, I hardwired all the DCC in it, put the lights in it and everything, put sound in, like it was DCC and sound. It were a bit more awkward than newer stuff because it was a silver seal and you have to isolate the two halves of the motor with nylon screws. The plate's a metal plate at the front that's held on, so you have to isolate it with a metal screw. Yeah, I've got a Facebook page now as well. I think I've loaded video on there a bit. that that's an old stable. That's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be cheap for me if I do half. Even if I do only half of them, I've got 70 to do. And another one turned up yesterday with old train set. G'day, Jerry. Good to have you along. How the hell is New York? Has it been good to... Well, hang on. Wait a minute, you're not long into the day, really, are you? I don't know, I'm no good at timekeeping. I only just understand the time in England. And so we're a bit early today. Yeah, so what's everybody been up to today? I've just been lazy and done diddly squat. Apart from me washing, and I've just put it out to dry. Oh, so yeah, you're not hugely behind us. Yeah, I had to count 5 hours behind. Yeah, had to count, reckon it up. Yeah, that's it. If you come from America, if you go from the UK to America, you don't get jet lag. If you come from America to the UK, you do get jet lag. It depends which way around the globe you get, whether you get jet lag. Fantastic. You've been a busy lad then, Vallis. RBS to see you fight. That's the blue one, isn't it, Jerry? Yeah, it's going to be nice, that. I like the idea of the different colour. Fire truck. Fire trucks are always red. Nice to have a different coloured one. I'd have to look it up, I wonder. Do you know, Jerry, you're into the emergency services. What were the decision between fire trucks all being red wherever you go? What was the idea behind it originally? It may be something that's in your answers bank that I don't. Oi, oi, oi. How's we doing? Nice to chat before as well, Martin. Till the wench comes home. I'm good, Martin. Yeah, what have you been up to, Martin? Out good? Have we been out and about? I've just sat. I was going to film it, but I've had a battery die. But I'm still doing an unboxing, but I'll put it back in and unbox it just for the filming effect. But I put somebody had to buy it now on a heavily water damaged train set. It looks like it's been on the bottom shelf in a shed in a flood. And it's not. I'm not saying which train set it is, but they asked for 45 quid and it's a reasonably modern one, but I thought, no, there's no way I'm paying that money for that. I thought the wagons will be worth 25 quid by themselves, so I said, I'll give you 25 quid and risk it. And I give them 25 quid, so it's going to be a restoration video for my channel. Yeah, I realise it's probably a state requirement, Jeremiah, but I was wondering what the history is. The fire trucks are red because it seems to be a worldwide thing. I'd love to know the answer why it started. Because it goes back to the very earliest ones. Victorian horse-drawn ones were red. Just one of them things I'm wondering about. Yeah, it's under all the grot and everything. It looks quite good. It looks very savable under the grot. I'm banking on I may have to put a new motor in it, but I've got a selection of motors, should we say? Yeah, it's something I'll have to have a look into, Jeremiah. Because it's not just the States, it's a worldwide thing. Fire engines are just red. That's interesting. Yeah, you and me both, Marty. You and me both. That's interesting. I wonder if that's backed up by stats valleys. Or is it just that there's less of them around? I don't know. Not a clue. I know olive green aren't that safe. Few green goddesses crashed here during fireman's strike. We had one on its side on one of the junctions in my hometown. Cool. I've got a nice little 164th. Well, they call them 164th. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be a sort of free scale or somewhere. It's probably near a 1/100th or something. But it's a nice little matchbox fire truck. An American one looks good. And the same pack as a British Merryweather fire tender. That's nice as well. I've got it in back room somewhere. I think they put the American fire truck in because it's in a similar state. It's a similar sort of fire truck to the original Matchbox Denver fire truck. Yeah, but I'm imagining things. Were there a couple of different coloured ones at 9/11? Can't remember now. I'm sure I saw a different coloured one at 9/11. Might have been white. Might be the years playing tricks on me. But yeah, it's there's some interesting old fire trucks you have over there in them. Mind you, we have some interesting kit over here. Hello, sweet pea. How you doing, Evie? Have you had a good day, chicken? Yeah, I was gonna say you can probably work the phone better than your dad, Evie. No, me neither. Me neither, Evie. I've been a lazy cuss. I've done nothing. I ain't done nothing. Well, I tell a lie. I played with a train set for 10 minutes. Then went off, picked my nose, did something else. I've had one of them apathetic days. I've looked at stuff and gone, meh, meh. I take it that's Aberdeen in Scotland, because I think there's an Aberdeen in America, isn't there? Right, yeah. I take it some of them would have been form as well, though. Aberdeen, because you have all the helipads for the oil rigs there. So you probably have form for dealing with aviation fires. I've not got nowhere near me 1,000 yet, Amy. I'm thinking of what to do for my 100th video. I might do a giveaway. picking you were picking noses as well. Yeah, I know they call it Granite City. Yeah, I bought a little kit and I've stripped it down. It's a florist shop. It's one of the old fella kits and I'm stripping it, tidying it up. I'm going to do all the windows, curtains. I might do lights inside, do all the flowers inside, do the sign in the window, paint it nice and everything, and I might do it as a giveaway for my 1,000th video for someone's layout. Be a nice little flower shop to put somewhere. It'll probably suit an HO layout more. Cool, Jerry. Yeah, I think I might. I think either that or I may well buy a British double O building like the old Armby terraces and make a tourist house for a giveaway. That'd probably be more appropriate for Brits, but I want to make it a worldwide thing as well. Something I could post to wherever that was light and won't cost me a fortune to post off. But yeah, you've done well. You've been on less time than me, Evie, and you've got more subscribers. You deserve it though. You do some off the wall stuff and some really entertaining stuff to watch. I like your channel. It's very entertaining, something different. That rabbit one tickles me, Blade. I nearly cussed then. Forgive me, Evie. I had a, you had everybody in town involved on it. Even even the Army Centre. I was chuckling at that. Yeah, very humorous. Yeah, it looks really good fun, Evie. I thought that was so funny. It showed your area nice as well. Let's have a look. What have you been doing, Valleys? Yeah, that's not that bad, that is it? For the lay door. Wins Gamelartic. Which is it? One of the old heavy haulage tractors. Oh, excuse me. Bubbles in the bath by either windy bottle. Sorry, I've just had a big roast lunch. Lunch at this time of night. Outstanding. What was I thinking? Yeah, quite possibly Valleys is. It'll probably be an old. I think Wins in some cases got hold of old ex-army gun tractors and stuff to use for their heavy haulage. I might be wrong, but I think something sinks in there or whatever. Yeah, I think they probably had that surplus ex-military stuff. Oh yeah, I've got a friend at the moment. Well, I call a friend, he's more of an acquaintance. Yeah, that's probably because that's exactly what it was, Valleys. It's probably an ex-World War II tank transporter conscripted into heavy haulage. They weren't shy at doing stuff like that. When I were in territorials, you had a look, and it were amazing some of the vehicles they still had left around the bases. One of the ones we had were prehistoric. You had to be a gorilla to drive it. I'd have had to hold on to one side of the steering wheel and jump off the seat to turn it round one side of the corner. Steering with that heavy on it. I wouldn't nowadays, but back when I were in then, I were like a whippet. Yeah, they were proper butch things. I'm a bit warm tonight. I'm a bit, because I've got me. It's not cold outside, and I've got my uniform over radiators, drying for tomorrow. Because work is the curse of the modelling classes. I think that's the saying anyway. I've not seen Mr. Manley tonight, Ian. Hey, Ian, Mick. How are you? Well, yeah, Dad. I'm still waiting for that sheepdog to pop up, Evie. Yeah, you do. So you do some cracking stuff, and I watch your shorts when I catch them as well. You do some nice days out. I should do more, but I'm not. I'm not as mobile now as I used to be. Not after nearly losing leg and having COVID bad and stuff like that. I'm more, I'm more looking for a blue badge than going out walking nowadays. Getting a, getting a, getting one of the special spaces at Tesco's. Or a bit special before I was disabled, never mind. I was definitely a bit special. I can't fault that, Valleys. There's a lot of people now work from home since COVID. Another one of my friends works from home. He's got a dog and it's the cutest thing you've ever. He's got a dog because he said if I hadn't got dog, I wouldn't go out anymore because I do modelling in the house. He said I work from home. He said, so I hardly go out. So he's got a dog, get him out and about. Only thing is, most of the videos I see at dog are in back garden. So I don't think that's venturing far. So what do you do now, Vallis? Oh, fantastic, Evie. You keep doing stuff like that. Ignore the ones that call you. I think it's really different and fun. And don't worry about a shortage of army tankers. They're everywhere. I've got two at my feet here before I start on the other boxes. I can put my hand down here. Hang on. I'll have to shift the Warhammer first. I can put my hands down side of me here. Not even venture anywhere, and there's two of them. Sorry, three. I've got three tankers. I could have a farm even. Oh shit! I've just dropped all my Warhammer on the floor. Sort your life out, pal. Back in one step. That's one thing I do like about Warhammer. They're not cheap, but if they get to know your face, popping in the shop for paints and glues and the odd box of figures and stuff, they do a free figure every month. So this month it's a something or another, I can't remember. They're all. I got that bad boy to make. It's like a Locust Heavy Destroyer. Like from Android, they're androids or whatever. They're just entertaining, glued together and paint. All right. Night, Evie. Have a good day. Hope you've enjoyed your first week at school. Yeah, take care. Pass it on to your dad to take care too. Oh, cool. Is that Valleys? Is that the one they have one of their auction houses at Bellevue, and the other up at, they have another one up at Brighouse, is it? Yeah, I've worked there once. It was a good crack if you could get on, actually, at car auctions, because you used to charge, back in 90s, you used to charge £5 for a rinse off and a leather before they went through the auctions. And they were just queued up, big long queues of them, ready to go through. And you do 20 in the morning, then say, sod it, I'm going home. I've done enough for today. Like, look at it that way, you've done 200 quid in morning. Sod it. It was a week's wage back then. In fact, it was a good week's wage back then. Yeah, there's a lot goes through. On auction days at Manchester, they were just huge queues of them. Some of the shit we used to take in from. I worked for a van hire company, and you tried to drive it in, tried to make it look like it wasn't smoking as bad as it did. You just left a smoke screen on the M60. Like, bung it through auctions, get shut quick. Funny. Yeah, anybody that bought half the stuff we auctioned off, they wanted a new engine straight away. Yeah, it was the absolute last alternative. They weren't getting sold anywhere else. Oh God, yeah. Some of the absolute garbage we put through, fellas. I was amazed amazed they were okay. Amazed they sold. They used to say, oh, it sold. Are you sure? Didn't have his Labrador do with him, did he? Yeah, half of them used to think, bloody hell, it'd have to be Alan Keller that bought it. You'd have to be blind and deaf to buy some of the vehicles we sold. Oh yeah, there's some that go through, yeah, but on the other hand, Lambos, Bentleys, and they're rubbish, but to be fair, somebody's going to spend on them and have it right. Because some of them, they won't be worth a lot now, but they will be in the future, especially depending on whose names are on logbook and what history they have behind them. Yeah, that's because my company had to get rid of theirs somewhere. They had Ferraris, Porsches, Bentleys, Aston Martins. They had to auction them off eventually as well. We had a BMW. We had a BMW M3. It was sold off eventually, but it had been corkscrewed up a field and repaired. It come off the back of the transporter. I don't think there were a single panel on it that weren't dented. And the worst bit was, we had an M3 already, and it was out on hire. So a guy wanted to hire an M3, and a lad they knew said, "Oh, I'll lend you mine, and you can hire mine out." And he went, "Right, okay." So they hired his out, and it got corkscrewed down the field. He was, "We'll buy you another. Stop crying. We'll sort it out." Yeah, Paul had corkscrewed all the way down the field. Yeah, there are some nice cars about nowadays. I mean, if you look at cars now, cars you buy now, even I look at cars that are 10-year old, and you can in no way, shape, or form compare them quality wise to what were being built in the 60s and 70s. There's a lot of rose coloured spectacles on classic cars. Yeah, they were beautiful designs, they were nice cars. Some of them were tough, but let's be honest, there weren't a single one that wasn't a rust box. They all rotted for fun. New cars aren't half as bad. They get better treatments, better steel. Even bad ones are good now. And reliability wise, a 10-year-old car is still running like Swiss watches. No, it isn't at all, Valleys. They were tiny years ago, cars come. they building they building airbags, crash bars, electric this, electric that. It all has to go in somewhere. All has to go in somewhere. They're a lot heavier than the older cars. If you went back to the older cars with today's engines, then you could be halfway to solving the oil crisis there. Because all the airbags, extra padding, and it all has to be held about that weight. Yeah, but depending on how much rust were on it, it'd have more. I take the Mickey out of minor saloon. The thing is, with miners, they were either good and were good for a while, or they were absolutely roached out. Because there were that many box sections in miners around the doors and sills and everything. I spent months welding one side of a miner back together. Which were entertaining. Well, yeah, they were nice. So they were up. Well, again, it's the time period, isn't it? When you look at a Moggy Miner, it was probably on the drawing board in the 40s, brought out in the 50s, and it was still being sold into the 70s. Yeah, they were a very basic engine. They had more wogs. I remember mine. Tiny little engine. Even compared to me Triumph Heralds, they were a tiny engine. I think the Morris Minor made an arse and cart look modern. Like it were very, like the front suspension were torsion bar, which were a clever idea instead of a spring, but it was very, very awkward for shock absorber, and it waddled a bit. And then they still had it. They still put the front suspension on the Moggy Marina. They didn't bother upgrading anything for the Marina. So yeah, it was very old tech. You'll be talking about for suspension. I bet it were a 40s idea, that. But this put, hang on, were it spring? Yeah, they put springs on the back. They had leaf springs on rear. You know, actually, just looking at that, I don't think it'd have been a 1700. They were an 1800 engine in the Marina. It was the same as the MGB. I may be wrong. I'd stand to be corrected. But you're right. The Marina is well known as being the only car that they had the baseline 1300 model, and they brought out the Super 1800 model, the high performance model, and it performed worse than the 1300 model. You were better off having the 1300 because the engine were too heavy for the torsion bar suspension on the front, so the handling was crap. My dad had one. On paper they were a lovely car. My dad had the 4-door Super Marina, the 1800, and it were a nice car. They did the 1800 TC as well. Put a twin carb on it and make all your problems worse. All the maintenance problems heightened, all the fuel use, and the performance would have lowered. What an awful car they were. Well, the 1300 weren't bad, and the coupe weren't too bad. Yeah, it probably was that, the 1300 GT. My friend in the, what do you call it, Ford Escort, he had a Mark II 1300 Sport. The more known model is the 1600 Sport, but he had a 13 and I got to drive it. The Escort Mark II 1300 Sport, and that were nice. Nice nippy little car, nice sharp handling. I've owned one myself. I had a little Mark II pop, and they're a fun car. They're nice. They're actually a nice sorted chassis. Nice little driver. They were cheap back in the day. Yeah. I bet well sorted RS 1800 and RS 2000's are scary. My mate made his own RS 2000 and he nearly got killed in it. He was a very lucky lad, but it was a funny story. He was doing about 100 mile an hour over country roads near here, and he had a girl in car with him in passenger seat. And neither of them were wearing seat belts, I don't think. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know the full story. But it broke loose, and he says, I looked out of the side window of the car. He says, and I'm going sideways and I'm heading towards, the lattice fences with the concrete posts. And he said, I'm heading towards one of them. And he said, there's a security cabin behind it because it were an industrial estate. And he says, the things you remember when you're having a crash, he said, I was looking out a side window and he said, there were a security guard in the cabin watching the car coming towards him. And he's going, am I going to run this way? Am I going to run that way? Am I going to... And my mate, he said, I instantly thought, look, you make your mind up or I'm going to kill you, mate. But the girl, she was thrown out of the car. He stayed in it and he was very ill for quite a while. He had to mechanic all his legs back together because the post cut the front end of the car off at the A-pillar. She was spat out and she didn't have a bruise on her. She was spat out and went across grass. Nothing touched her, not a bruise. He said she was running round the middle of the road, gibbering. Yeah, so that was the end of his RS2000. Well, technically it wasn't. Technically he had to. Just not two full ones. Anyway, Valleys, it's gone a bit quiet tonight. There's only... Oh, Max, just as I'm saying that, Max pops his head up. Evening, Mark. Yeah, me as well, Valleys. Me as well. I crashed more motorcycles than cars, and that I was astoundingly lucky until recently. When I got my hand mechanoed back together and nearly lost leg, I just went out and bought a bigger bike. Waiting for once to go to sleep. Yeah. Yeah, they settled in. Oh, tell you what, I'll have my meds. Yeah, me meds. Oh. I've got absolutely nothing done, Mark. Well, I say absolutely nothing. I loaded a couple of videos. I finished a couple of videos off. One were a long-term one. I loaded them up. I did an Hornby Class 47. Yeah, it's all right. It's not a bad one. I might do it. I might upgrade it later and put a sound chip in it. There's my other one I've done, another Hornby 47, an old one, and I put sound lights and everything in that. DCC sound and lights. I hardwired an ESU chip in it. ESU chip, speaker, lights, like what do you call it? Resistors or whatever they're called. Yeah, I wish I'd done it. I've done a small video on it, but not a big one. I did a little video on my DCC one. So yeah, apart from that, I've not done a lot. I wish I could say I had, but I've been a lazy cuss. Got half of my dinner on my t-shirt. You'd think I had a big enough mouth, wouldn't you? I'm trying to avoid eBay, Mark, because I'm going down Birmingham next weekend and going to the Coventry Toy Fair. I've not got a huge amount of cash to spend anyway, but I'll see what I find. At this point, I've got so many locals and so much rolling stock. I may actually look into buying track because I'm getting ready to start setting up my layout. I've got to see my mate who's in engineering. I want some bracing bars made to screw our bolts onto me baseboards to line them up and everything. But yeah, I'll do that. Get them made. Then make my last board. Bolt them all together and make a start on working my track layout out. Ah, cool. Yeah, I could. Well, actually, to be honest, because of me shakes issue, I used to build a lot of plastic kits, but I've got absolutely shed loads. I might put them on the market and just concentrate on railways. I'll keep my die cast because I'll probably want to do them occasionally. But now plastic kits, me twitching and everything's got a bit much from. I'll cope with them for model railways and manage with them on that, but actually sitting down and building bombers and stuff. You've got to be a special sort to buy a loco for 1800. I bet if what sort was it and what scale though? Yeah, I've got stuff I won't use, but I've bought it for the channel to do on my channel restore. A Thomas double O model, and he spent 1800. Yeah, 16,000 for that's understandable on gauge one. It's understandable that for a big toy. But 1800, which Thomas were it? Hi Andy, you all right? Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah, quite possibly. Ah, right, it was from the show. I thought they used bigger ones on the show. I thought they used something like J gauge for the show. Yeah, man. Murdoch, yeah, I'm afraid I wouldn't give 18 for it. Hellfire. I wouldn't have even give 100 for it. Doesn't float me boat. I can get it. I'd just get a 9F and put a face on it. Good evening, Barnabas. Yeah, George. There must be a time they must think, like, really, I'm paying what for it? You can get a classic car for 18. And you can get a lot of motorcycle for 1800. Yeah, I've got a Thomas face in my box down here at spare parts because I stripped a couple of Thomases to make one good one. A bit of Millie put alter the face a bit for murder. Stick it to a 9F. Sorted. Bish bosh bash, happy days. That's Numpty Pooty's his speciality. I ain't getting on no plane, fool. Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly, Mark. I certainly wouldn't pay 1800 for one. I wouldn't pay 100 for one. That's fair. That sounds good. Every class 59 of the class. You get that. It's probably going into a quiet time now till we get near Christmas or some of the bad weather comes in. That's not bad then, 15. Ain't gonna lie, I think it's 59 I've got to do down it. No, it's not. Or is it down here? What have I got down here? American American stuff. Empty box. What's this? Yeah, 15. I know what you mean, 59s. I've got that. I was thinking of a 58 as well. I've got the Hornby 58. See, it's a repaint. And I've got that to do. I'm going to be tidying it up. And I bought the etched brass altering stuff for it to alter, give it the proper exhaust and grills and everything. So I'll be doing some cutting away and replacing and stuff on that one. It was just a cheap one I got on eBay because it had been repainted and weathered. Yeah, sounds about right. Good excuse to stop in, Mark. Chucking it down. Yeah. Yeah, it is quite possibly Valley's. Trying to think. Wait, I'll have a GP30 somewhere. Sure, I will. I've got a GP20 on the bench at the moment. I've to build all the stanchions and railings onto that. I've got the decals for it. It's going to be Santa Fe, red and yellow. Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting to know that, Vallis. Yeah, it's an American local anyway, isn't it, the 59? It's, what do you call it? They call it the 66 now, isn't it, the upgrade? Yeah, it is, General Electric. It were a bit controversial at the time, American locals coming over. I don't think we build any ourselves anymore, do we? Which is sort of embarrassing. We buy all our locals in. Which, if the old railway men of old were around, they'd die of embarrassment. I have one of the main local centres up road from me in Norwich. Used to pass it regular on motorbike rides. Was a vast place, Norwich. Absolutely mahoosive. Yeah, I'd have, what do you call it? I do like them. I've got a couple of them as well. Trying to think which liveries I've got. I think, to be honest, that's EWS as well. One of them. I know I've got the National Power one. But both are the... Is it the County York or so? I don't know. I know it's the Lima General Electric and the Hornby, which is the Lima. It's strange. It's the EWS is the American livery. And it's strange, some of them now are in France, still in their EWS livery. One of my friends, do you know Neil, Fox Hill Railway? He's posted videos in France, and there's an EWS 59 there plodding along. Well, possibly a 66. I think he were a 59 though. Fantastic. I might upgrade my DCC controller. I want something that works the ESU chips and Hornby chips, and that's something. Will any controller work any chips? I mean, obviously, it's not going to do 0, 1, but will they work? Will any modern DCC controller work all the modern-ish DCC chips? Like from when they first started DCC till now? Whereabouts is he in the north, Mark? Cool. Yeah, whereabouts is this Amarok's Anonymous in the north? Yeah, cool. I'll probably have a look at that, see what it's like. Because I've seen the Bachmann one. What is it? Not the basic one you get in train sets, but the more advanced one, and some seem to be getting rid of that. But I don't know before I ask. I can't think what name of it is at the moment, the Bachmann one. Because I've decided my layout's going to be DCC. Cool, that's interesting, Valleys. I've got a chip on my bench. I've not even bothered putting it on eBay yet. The 011. I got the Mallard, though, the R350 cheap because of it. I think I was the only one that bidded on it. Because I spotted it written on the box. What was written on it? Module 1. I thought, wait a minute, they've not called them manual modules for years. I thought that's got to be 01 because they refer to them now as decoders. No, that's why I got I've converted the Mallard back to DC. But at the end of the day, I can convert it back into DCC with sound if I so desire. Because all the theory is behind it is your two wires from the lines coming out, shield all your motor, so your motor's not earthing anywhere, your two wires going into motor, and you're away. No, you can put links in if it helps people. I don't mind. If it helps folks out for the hobby. It's something I'm not looking at just yet. I want to get my board sorted out, but I'm thinking of for in the future. Doncaster, right, been up Doncaster. It's a ride out. See, I have a good shop near me. I'm fortunate my friend has a good shop. I'm near, what do you call it? The Loco Shed Model Railway Shop. And he's like in the Aladdin Caves, the Aladdin's Cave for stuff. Probably best way to run second-hand gear. Because the way Hornby have treated people recently, they shit on the retailers. So why be faithful to Hornby? Sell the second-hand gear. Yeah, exactly. You're not tied up. Because I thought that was a huge dirty. And I don't think they've recovered fully from it yet. You don't shit on you don't bring out the full new range, then shit on your retailers and say you can't have it. Doesn't work like that. Yeah, I thought that was an horrendous trick Hornby played. I think they're paying for it now though, amongst other stuff they've done. I think it'll backfire on them, to be honest, Valleys. I think the only reason they didn't put TT in the shops is because people would see it alongside Engage and think, well, why get that when there's all the selection you have in Engage? Because let's be honest, TT, if you've seen them together, you're virtually gaining nothing from the difference in scale. You might as well go the O-log, get N, and have more space. Because there is the argument, the old buzzards, all the old buzzers saying, oh, I'd buy a TT and make a big layout of it, because I can't manage Engage. It's too small for me. What do you think you're going to gain out of TT? It's very little difference between them when you see it together. Yeah, but I looked at it and I did think about it for a minute or two. And then I looked at it and go, well, why? If you're going from more double O down to TT, then you look at N and you think I have absolutely loads of things. The track work's already there, all the different track you need. The buildings are already there, the locos, rolling stock are already there. And let's be honest, let's be brutally honest about this. Hornby's quality in double O is pants a lot of the time. What's the quality going to be like in TT? Especially because they don't want to pay the Chinese now, and they're going to be shifting production over to India. And India won't give a shit. My friend's got an Earthix, one of the Earthix kits of the Hornby groups, having built in India. The screen for it is a clip together car kit, and the screen for it, he said, it was full of scratches, which he didn't mind until he looked at it, and it's brand new out the box, and it's cracked down the centre of the windscreen. Well, it's not that secret now, Valleys, I know. I probably won't travel that far out, though, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's good. It's good to support your local shops. I get out to mine when I can. He's a nice guy. We have two good shops near me. We have Arcadia over in Oldham, and my friend's shop, the Loco Shed, over at Bess's Barn. I've still to pop into yours. What's your eBay store called, Mark? I probably bought from you anyway. In fact, I'll nearly guarantee I'll have bought from you at one point. Just going checking my washing while it's gone quiet a minute. Ow. Back in a more, off for a drink. Right, back again, catch up. Right, I think for tonight, just look at it and it's drying up a bit. So I think we'll call it a day for tonight. Thanks for joining in again, gents. I've got a Shunter's truck to make down here. The Great Western Railway one. Somewhere abouts a kit. Which one is it? I don't know which kit it is now. What's that? No, that's not it. I have one anyway. I was just going off, Mick. I was just heading off. Jeremiah's been on. I was just heading off because it had quietened down. I was going to get a bath, do behind my ears and everything, ready for work tomorrow. Because one of the girls has declared undying love. The boss laughed because we did it in front of her. Yeah, it's just slowed down, Mick, and gone a bit quiet, so I'm gonna call it a night for tonight. It had slowed down a bit when I went for my drink. But I'm going seeing if I can find Mark's model railway shop. I think tomorrow when I get in from work, I'll put me clobber in ready for the weekend, mate. Wash me gear I'm going to be bringing with me. I'll have to want a load of other stuff out. I'll Google it, Mark. Have a look. I'll have a look. If I Google it, it'll probably lead you to your eBay shop. Have a look what you've got. Although I'm not buying anything till next month. I'm saving me money for Coventry with me. See what I can get there. Hopefully a bird's phone number. No, only kidding. Like that's going to happen. As long as it's not a bloke's phone number. Anyway. Yeah, I'm avoiding spending, Mick. I've not a great deal of money, but I'm not. The good news is I haven't gone into my overdraft yet. So I may just venture into my overdraft next week. In fact, I'd say it's going to be an almost cert. I'm going to venture into it. I've a few hundred before I get near my overdraft, but I'm approaching it. Normal month, I wouldn't go over it, but it's not a normal month, is it? And I'm buying some other stuff at the moment as well. I'm buying an artwork that's, I'll just say it's not cheap. It's by one of the country's talented artists. I just tell my bank, give me one that's allowed. You have a small payment on it. And at times, there's been times I've had to go over it. I've got to say, I don't go over it for trains. I've gone over it if I've had to run my motorcycle for work if I've needed something. But I don't have that. I only walk into work now. So all I have to buy is a pair of trainers every year. That's my transport expenses covered. Because I don't run a vehicle anymore, so yeah, so Yeah, me too, Valleys. I allow myself so much a month. Unless I go to toy fairs or whatever, then I might go a bit over. But in general, I allow so much a month. End of day, I have to run an house. Well, a flat. But I run it by myself, so there's nobody else contributing. I don't even have a dog I could send out to. Yeah, that'd be me, Mick. Yeah, you won't get me doing 36, 40 hours overtime. I do. I do me straight week, and they say, do you want to pick up a bank? I went, no. Do I look stupid? Said I don't need money. Oh, God. If I had one Valleys, I'd have her on the game for train money. And she'd come back and I'd go, £100 and 10p? Who give you the 10p? And she'd turn round and say, all of them. Jesus. That's funny. Tickled me that, Valleys. Yeah, I don't mind the one I keep flirting with at work. I've no chance with her, but she's a stunning girl. She knows it, and I have a good laugh with her. She's beautiful. First time on, I'm going to be in HR one day, I tell you. Because I don't give a shit. I just say what I'm thinking. And she walks in more or less, I think it was second shift she was there. And I just looked at her like that. I went, you've got beautiful eyes, you have. Like, I bet you say that to all the girls. Yeah, all the time, Mick. All the time. Did you see that video I posted up, X Forces one? That is exactly why I love Forces humour. Tatty Pie, see you on Friday, Jeremiah. Nice seeing you. Yeah, it's a black. What it is, this video, it's an American, two American squaddies, and one's the drill instructor, a black guy, and the other one's a white guy doing press ups. And the black guy shouts out, and what did we learn today? And the white guy doing press ups says, we don't tolerate racism. And he says, hang on, let me think of it now. It's the exchange. He goes, and what did we learn today? He says, we don't tolerate racism. And he goes down again, comes up. So what does that mean? He says, the people now. Like, you have to see the video. It's so funny because it's a black guy and a white guy. It blows all the bullshit of like this politically motivated racism that's going on at the moment. All the BLM and everything. It's all racism, whichever way you look at it. In Forces, they just get on with each other no matter what race they are. They take the piss out of each other equally. So you didn't learn the lesson the first time, Vallis? For God's sake, mate. I've never gone back. When I've had girlfriends, never been gone back. Obviously, Vallis. There's some sort of merit for trying, though, I think. I don't know what it is, but there's some sort of merit. I don't go back, I just go, fucking, I'm out of that. Oh, Jesus, all my problems were a redhead, Vallis. I know where you're coming from. Redheads are a funny thing. They're either really hot and really sexy, or they look like they've been slapped by a cricket bat. You don't get much in between with redheads. They're beautiful, but geez, if you get a faulty one, I got a faulty one. I had a proper faulty one. You walked in the evening and you didn't know whether she'd have a glass of beer ready for you or she'd be stabbing the kitchen table with a carving knife. When I had my bike accident and I moved out, I left the cat with her for a week or two and I got back and the poor cat were looking at me saying, what the fuck have you left me with her for? Do you not like me or something, Dad? Keep them under the stairs. I don't think that's allowed. Did you keep... Hey, there's an old tale with that one, Mark. Did you keep the receipt? Me mate is my best buddy since being kids. Still knock about now when we get chance. I go to his house every Christmas, have Christmas dinner with them. But his missus, when he first got married, he'd bought the house, he'd got married and everything. Bought a brand new build with her. Lovely couple, still together today, but he come home pissed. And she goes, so this the way it's going to be? And he phoned his parents up. He said, you come and fucking take this back. It's faulty. He said, I'm not having it. He says, I'm returning it. They came and got her. She went home that night and she went back. They were right after, but it's pretty much the path he's continued through life. He said, fuck off straight away. I'm not putting up with it. Funny lad he is. But hey, what a cracking couple. They've been a fantastic couple together. But yeah, redheads, unfortunately, I can definitely see the attraction. I think I'd do well in Ireland. A lot over there. Well, there's two I particularly like, and both you get a lot in Ireland, redheads and black-haired girls. A blue wrens. Hey, you know, that takes me back to Jasper Carrot. He says, your daughter comes in. He said, and she's had her hair done some zany colour like pink. or red, and you go, get that shit out of your hair. Wash your hair, get it out. He said, and then your mother walks in. He said she's had a blue rinse, and you go, oh, it looks lovely, that takes years off you. Paul Blondes. That's one of my favourite Jasper Carrot ones, that. He said, well, I've got my parents and my mother living with me, and I've got my daughter. He said, neither of them are working. Both are on drugs. It was really funny, that sketch. Yeah, bloody hell, though, blue rinses. I was going to say, did they still do that? But there's young girls now. There's a fad sometimes where young girls are dyeing their hair grey. They're having grey hair. What's that about? It's a weird old world. Anyway, on that, I've gone on a bit longer than I was going to. But on that, I think I'll say tatty pie, people. Tatty pie, because I'm getting tired. I want a bath now or a shower. Get off. Get to sleep. Put this bloody central heating off. I'm sweating. Yeah, good night. Good stream again. Enjoyable. I am thinking in the future of possibly pointing downwards and doing a build while I do the screen. Do the stream. I'm sure it's better than seeing me fizzog. I can shift my keyboard out of the way and do a wagon build or something. Or paint something or whatever. I've got a lot of figures I want to paint for a coach. So it might be good sitting here and painting figures for a coach. Anyway, that's in the future. As I say, tatty pie, people. Tatty pie, and I'll probably be on next week. Depends if I'm in work or not. I'll check my rota and I'll put the stream up earlier. Because, oh, no, I won't be in next week. But unless I'm back early. Unless I'm back in time, but I won't have time to put it up in advance. I'll have to see how it rolls next week. Because I may be only just getting back from Brum. Anyway, tatty pie, folks. And catch you when I catch you next. Bye. Bye. The last one. Bye.